yeah, Bjorn, last time you were here, definitely the quarter horns got involved with a bit of a snatching situation. You probably shouldn't have touched the item that
Hmm.
you were explicitly warned not to touch. And as
We,
it became volatile to your essence, it took over your mind. It made you do things that you didn't want to do, like growing a bark and forest-like wings that were meaning to escape the area. How far? Who knows? They were talking of freeing themselves properly. But as you were taken down by your allies, the commotion caused so much a stir that an individual known as a Zooter appeared, who happened to be in the area and got the call. I rolled for it. It was very unlucky for you. And the situation came to be where your group had the choice to either literally give up all of your items minus one axe, or let you get arrested and they could get you out of jail later. So you got arrested. You have one axe in your hand. That's the only thing in your inventory. Your group has your entire cache of items and weapons. You literally have nothing in your inventory but the axe. The situation, though, for you, Bjorn, is a bit different than what your friends went through. And I won't go too much into what your friends went through because you witness it firsthand, and I will let them essentially tell you what happened when the moment comes.
do I still
But
have? Do I at least have my bear belt?
yeah, you just don't have any like items and weapons other
I just
than
have my
your
hand.
axe. Your axe, yes. You actually don't
I
even
know I
have
put my
your
hand
axe
up.
on. You actually don't even have your axe. You have the axe around the vicinity, but it's being held by this guy. Like the guy is holding the axe. He's looking at it. He's examined it pretty well. He knows it's a Court of Horns item. The only reason you're in this situation is because you are part of the Court of Horns, in fact. Um, and as you watch on a screen, your allies fight for your right to not be arrested. The only way. Okay, so let me break it down a little bit. And Amir, I know this is very secular information to what I've told you, but
I
what
was in a
happened?
death race, and then I'm here.
Yes, yes, yes. We'll get to the death race in 2 seconds. Don't worry. But um, we've just so much has happened, yet so little has happened since last Bjorn has been here. Bjorn, as you are technically freed via the circumstance that your allies took, the situation, the way the prison is meant to be, you are handed your axe, and the individual that hands you the axe, this Zooter, you can sort of tell they're very powerful. They're very well known. A lot of people seem to defer to them for their expertise in the wherever they're walking by. But as you end up finally in a room with a couple of cameras that are pointed towards this theater, and you watch your allies. It was Ronnie, Arthur was there, Lunara. Heck, I'm sure Aang helped out. They defeated. They they took on a creature, and as they took on the creature, the parameters have been met, so that thus you are technically free from the prison of Tartarus. So when a Court of Horns member gets arrested, which is basically like a secret police getting arrested for like doing something they shouldn't have done, and if then they're caught, they get sent to like super jail. The only problem is like Adasor, and in the future for Amir, if you are sent to the prison, you basically have to do like 100 levels of a like a pyramid to get out, and then you touch the final floor, and it's just a portal for wherever you want to be in the cosmos that you know. And you're free. You could also have teleportation magic and you technically will be free too. Or you could do what other people have done and kind of make their home there, because it's harder to leave sometimes because you have to go through a huge trial of stuff. Bjorn, you go through this trial, and for the benefit of today, let us say you go through it just barely unscathed. But I'll give you this option. As you are in this place, you see your allies go through a bit of a warp that is unlike all the others. You've been tricked into a teleportation situation. You've been in weird vessels that take you to past light years that others would be unable to comprehend. But this was different. This looked like a warp, a bubble in time that readjusted your allies away from you. So much so that Zuder himself said, well, looks like your friends are gone. But they're no longer in Tartarus, thus you're free. And upon maybe some research, you find out that they're not even on the planet anymore. They can't be located anywhere else. And you make it to this final step. And you see as you touch this final step, eventually going through this entire trial of Tartarus that we will go through. But not yet. Do you choose to go somewhere that you know in this cosmos? Or you feel a tingle that if you really wanted to, you could aid your friends in their situation now. And it will take you there.
Oh, he's choosing to aid his friend. 100%.
Okay. And as you do that, the bubble or shadow of it appears to a degree, and it's almost welcoming, as you know you're going to do right by your allies. And you sort of appear in front of this individual, this man who, the fitting image of the actor Idris Elba, if you even know who that is. And as he holds on to his right hand grasps the handle of the samurai sword, as their left hand, does the mannerisms as he speaks. But as you appear in front of him, there's this empty room where it seems to be made up of there's a wooden house, some sort of hut reshaped to be a home at some point, where maybe he's selling you something, but there's no wares to be found around. He does look at you and says, I believe you're here to aid the others. You having appeared from thin air. This world is oppressive in magic. I don't know how it's so possible that you'd make it here. But maybe you're connected. I don't know you. Call me vain. What are you? This individual asks.
Bjorn will kind of look him once over. And he's going to say, my friends, what are they?
They'll be here sooner than you think. Maybe even after you answer the question, what are you?
And Bjorn will introduce himself.
What do you say?
He would begrudgingly stick out his hand and say, "I'm Bjorn."
The individual's right hand stays still. He does bow towards you, not taking your hand, and he says, "Pleasure to meet you, Bjorn. You seem to have a bit of a connection to this realm. What is it, I wonder?" And literally, as he's saying these words, you hear like a sort of like a bubble pop, like when your ears pop, right? To the right of you, as two individuals appear. One of them you can recognize as Arthur. He just runs to the corner where there's a bucket, and he throws up in the bucket. And then another individual that you don't recognize, who we will call Amir, appears, and he's also like hyperventilating in front of Vane. And Vane just looks at them and asks, "What have you learned?"
I think Bjorn at the sight of Arthur would be excited, but then being how he is and protective as he is, would kind of put Axe Blade to Amir's like underneath his chin as kind of like a, "Who the fuck are you and what the hell are you doing?"
Okay, first of all, Amir is not being aggressive in any way, shape, or form. And Vane does
He just
not
like
seem to be.
here out of nowhere.
Okay. Well, you'd have to make a wisdom saving throw to do that then. If you really want to. I guess.
Damn. Well, I think Bjorn would he'd greet Arthur in his typical being an asshole way.
Arthur's throwing up. He's barely recognizing you.
No. Well, then he would look at Amir and say, "Why do you walk through air with my friend? Who are you?"
Well, you see, I am Amir, and this one has, I guess, trapped isn't really the right word. Placed us, or me, he says, looking around to the others. I don't know what the others went, but placed me in a situation as to where I need to figure out how to do something that, frankly, I find to be impossible in order to understand, learn, and obtain, and he says with finger quotes, true power. And the last thing I remember is being in a death race where I died a couple of times, but am somehow alive, and now I'm here, so I don't know. And who are you?
And Bjorn, being a typical asshole, will extend his hand and shake Amir's, but bearing down just enough to make it like hurt. And he'll pull Amir in and whisper to him. He'll go, "I'm Bjorn. I'm the muscle of this group. Piss them off, and I'll take your head."
Oh, great, another one. Nice to meet you.
Arthur does chime in, saying, "Bjorn, don't be so mean. He's a good guy." As he's like lurching over to barf again. But yeah,
Bjorn would definitely walk over to Arthur as he's like puking into the bucket and pat him on the back so his head goes into the bucket, into his own throw up. He's gonna go, "I missed you, lizard boy."
yeah. I don't think his head's gonna go in. You both are strong, but don't shove the dragonborn into vomit, man. Come on.
Bjorn's an asshole, and he missed him.
All right, then go ahead. Do a strength check then.
Oh,
gonna do acrobatics? Go for it. Oh hell no.
Let's do it.
He fucking
He's
shoves you
strength.
off. You don't have to roll. Don't worry about it.
Well,
He says, just stop being a fucking bully. He's pissed at you. Shit, not 20.
Jesus. Of course it is.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't it be?
The first roll? My lord.
First roll of the fucking game.
Damn.
Well, that tells you how this game's gonna go. Kevin's gonna get all the net 20s.
Yeah. Or I burned them all. Who knows? Okay, so eventually everything's understood, Bjorn, that this individual is some sort of entity that was there with the creation of Earth, was part of the creation, born from the creation of Earth. It's hard to understand them the way they speak. They seem to err towards the side of chaos, but not deliberate evil. They've mentioned the fact that even existence breeds chaos itself, and he enjoys to simply witness. And the offer that he will give you is one of two. You can forget about all of this, move on, make your life. You've been through Tartarus proper, unlike all of your friends who only were the key for your survival. And he says, I could send you to where you wish to be, to find whatever you wish to seek, to fulfill your needs, fill your belly, your pockets, whatever it is that you would need be. But taking this path is one of self-indulgence. If you take the path with grains, with the laborious walks, you're going to require power. That axe will only get you so far. So the first thing one must learn, and he sort of points to the two that are back. He says, you must learn to run the world. Do you know what that means? To take a whole planet, make it yours. To sprint past and see nothing but a blur. Once you do that, we can have a much, much longer conversation about your potential. If you cannot take the world in a day, you are useless to me and you'll be lost in this time trap forever. How long have you been here, Amir? And at this point, I would like to say that Amir specifically has not just returned from the death race, but could you roll me 2d10? "81 years."
Did you say 81?
It's how long you've been in the time loop.
Oh Lord!
What have you been doing
It's a
for
good
81
thing I'm in a
years?
time loop.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
yeah.
Like,
What have
if
you
it
done?
wasn't everything.
Done it all.
That's all I can say. Because at this point, if it's been 81 years that I've been in this time loop, if it wasn't a time loop, I'd be almost towards the end of my natural lifespan.
Of course. And there is a mechanic in my games that requires time as its only fix. It is the your mental threshold, effectively. There's an actual term. I've been looking all day for my piece of paper about it, and I can't fucking find it. It's so annoying. There's like 12 tiers And if you hit like anywhere near like 9 and 10, you start like becoming like problematic and shit like that. And it starts being like a mechanical issue. I don't bring it up again because I give the player so much time off. Like theoretically, this time loop is also time off, but it also does drain that limit. So it's kind of like counterintuitive. So you have to be very specific about what you're doing for a long time. So I imagine like you spent like 4 years in a beach at some
Yeah.
point. And just situations like that. But is there something you want proficiency in?
Efficiency in. Okay.
Yeah, a skill
Okay,
specifically,
now I'm understanding what you're talking about.
or a vehicle, or I believe they would call them tools. Yes, or tool. Think on it. Let me know what best gives you a smile on your face as Amir would look towards finding things to learn specifically. But as Bjorn, you're understanding this bit of a situation is definitely a Groundhog Day situation to effectively run the world in one day. That has many connotations. He did sound like he wants you to like sprint around the world in a day. But it doesn't sound like that's the limit. It sounds like you could
I
do
think-
whatever to meet that parameter and it would qualify.
I think Bjorn would kind of set the hilt of his axe on the ground and lean his hand, like put his hands between the two blades, and lean his head on his hands and look at the man and say, "You say run the world in a day, but I cannot run the world in a day if my world is a person that is not here yet. Therefore, I cannot run the world if she is not by my side."
I do not care about your world. I care about the or a world. It does not matter if it is yours. We are on one right now. If you were to take this one, I would give you the power you need. I'd give all of you what you require to go on, to move on from here, to ensure that Earth has a chance. This is why we're here. We're here for Earth. If it falls, everything else tumbles. What do you do about it, though? I care not what happens.
So you wish to see chaos.
I wish to see. I do warn.
What does this dude look like?
He looks like Idris Elba. You know who Idris Elba the actor is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's him. Only he's probably a little older looking, grayish hair, almost all whitish, and there's like some streaks of black. And he's like very animated with his left hand. Like he points, he does swings around, shit like that. His right hand is affixed to this samurai sword that seems to like have this long wow, what's it called? The sheath. It seems to sort of be angled to where you can't see the end of the sheath, and you aren't ever allowed to, no matter where you're standing, ironically. And you're like, oh, that's weird. It just looks like a really long sword that I could never find the end of. Kind of like an illusion. And he's
So
like
he's
wearing
the master of time.
yeah, he no. You guys all know the Master of Time as the Time Dragon Keeper, effectively Koatesh. That's the closest thing you guys would know as the Master of Time.
But he wants us to run the world in a day.
In a day. Start jogging.
Whether it be with power.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I couldn't take
You have a time
seriously.
loop, buddy. I mean, however long it takes. Amir's like taking his sweet time. You guys feel like Arthur might have been might be tapped out for a while. And he's just like hanging out here now. Like just imagine like you're in a video game situation and it's like, hey guys, the final boss is like around the corner. Do you want to go further or do you want to keep training and leveling up before you go around this room? And then you just keep seeing the same shit over and over again because the NPCs don't have anything else to do until you move on from there. That's what life feels like for Amir and soon Bjorn. But for how long? Who knows? And just for your understanding, Amir, your time spent here is relatively different from Arthur. You don't spend your entire day tied to the individual. And who knows how many times he died versus you. It's the dying that's traumatic, not the time spent. Time spent could also be annoying because you're just bored half the time. So if you're not really working towards anything, it's kind of annoying. But which is why you get a proficiency in something that you'll tell me later or now. Who knows?
Okay.
Yeah, like you could have like air proficiency. You could have like land vehicle proficiency, water vehicle proficiency, ground vehicle proficiency is very niche, but also the most broken. Don't pick that one. You're not allowed. Yeah, there's cooking supplies. You can learn how to do cooking supplies. You want to be proficient with a medicine kit? Do you want to know how to make potions? Poisons. Regardless.
You keep throwing stuff at me and not even giving me longer than a second to think about
I will not. I'm a DM.
That's what his job.
All the
you will pick in
choices.
your short time span. And
We're not
regret it
even
later.
we're not even at the 17 dragons arc that's in front of the screen right now. That's continuously just in your face. Like, huh? Is this a warning?
Okay. You know what?
Okay. Hold
I'm gonna
on.
let this person that
Hold
I
on.
just met.
Hold on. Before you, I don't know.
For me.
Hold on. No. Hold on. Before you do that, I also
Okay.
want to offer.
The smile on your
Vane.
face is so big right now.
Yeah, like for real, you have no idea. Vane says, I can, for the right price, given enough time you spend here, which you did already, give you much more protection from body, mind, soul, whatever best fits your description of the thing. And then out of game, I'll just tell you, Vane does offer maybe even a resistance to something.
Now you're talking about it.
So he could give you resistance to fire, cold, lightning. There's another one. Hold on, I gotta figure it out. It's not poison, not acid. Hold on, no. Radiant.
Radiant.
So Radiant would be niche in most other games. There are laser beams in my games.
I know. That's why I chose it.
Oh, so you're choosing Radiant. You didn't just say it. Okay. So you are resistant to Radiant damage. Probably the second most common damage type in my games, but one of the least common damage types in D&D. I love it. You can mark that down. That is what you earned. You cannot gain a proficiency. You just earn resistance to radiant damage. I'm sure you took some radiant damage in the death race, probably. Let's see. Bjorn. What do you do?
Bjorn
You were
is-
told to run the world, and effectively the hook of the entire trial, to save Urth, we must break all 5 pillars, one of which are already broken before the time loop. But at the start of each loop, all 4 of them are recovered, and thus you have to run through the entire world, breaking each of the 4 pillars, and return to Vane in order to acquire the power you need to save Urth.
What are
Whatever
the
that means.
pillars again?
These chains that are connected to a creature called Ohe. That is the center of this planet. That is effectively its soul, its burning fire, its living entity, what keeps it from being broken in pieces.
But we like Ohei, don't we?
Do you?
Isn't Ohei the one that we like?
You tell me. I mean, however you feel about Ohei is however you feel about Ohei. She has done nothing wrong to you.
But if we break the pillars, doesn't it kill Ohei? Or does it free her?
It seems like she is locked in place. She doesn't seem to be able to die in such a way. Most espers or altars are in such a state where they can't just be eliminated once their living vessel is destroyed. Usually they could come back either like through much belief over time or possibly sacrifices and stuff like that, especially when they're like binary espers or binary gods. Who is connected to
Okay.
Ohei? That's the question, but they seem to be prominent in the future. And also you know that you're in the past on Earth, like on his end days.
Who is the god that gave us the keys?
That is Ayala.
That's not Ohei, right? Ayala.
Yeah. Ayala handed you the keys to free her planet, which also is connected to Earth. So you see hints of Fey magic here heavily. But what do you do at the start of this? What do you do to try to run the world? Amir is not with you. Amir's sort of doing his thing. Like he just came back because he probably ate like a poisonous octopus, and he was like, "Oh, okay, that's the thing. Probably shouldn't have tried that one. That sushi chef sucks." What you were thinking?
Just
But
learning life ahead of time.
I think Bjorn would look at the man and say, if I can break the pillars, I want one thing in return.
I'm not here to offer you anything. If you choose to opt out, you can have your desire. That's the easy part. The hard part is continuing. The hard part is getting back up. Once you have failed, what do you do there? I could give you placation. I could give you what you might think you want. But no, boredom will hit. You will find your hand shaking, reaching over for it, your axe. You think it will stay with you? You think it will not abandon you if you choose against it? The hammer, the axe, the helmet. All that Valhalla gone. But it is your path to choose, not mine. Yes, you can have it if you want it, but walk away now, and you will seek.
I think Bjorn hearing him insult his belief and saying Valhalla would be gone, I think Bjorn would kind of get a little pissed and kind of slam the hilt of his axe against the ground.
Okay, that's an aggressive action. He's got to make a wisdom check. If wisdom save, if you want to do an aggressive action in this hut for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, man.
What the fuck? My wisdom sucks.
Don't know what to tell you.
You said
This guy has been battle ready this entire time. Does not look like he's been flinching in any way. He's so sure of himself. Why can't you see the end of his weapon? Weird.
I think Bjorn would definitely kind of lean a little bit heavier on his axe and look at him and go, Valhalla is not something that gets taken.
Only if you walk away from it.
It is my belief. You cannot take a belief.
Try it and you will find it hard to reach. But if you choose forward, Yes. It will be yours. Just not
I
today.
think Bjorn would take his axe and sheath it on his back, and he would sit on the ground in front of the man and look at him and say, "Then tell me what must be done and how it must be done."
That is up to you, not me. Run the world.
Bjorn would kind of look at him and go, "Well, you're the one making the stipulations for freedom. Therefore, you do decide. You are the one that has made this stipulation to run the world. Given me this option, I'm choosing to go forward.
He looks
Now
at
it
you.
is your choice
Mhm.
to determine which path forward I take."
He points to the door. He says, anywhere but there is the wrong place.
Bjorn will look at the door, look at him, and go, "Fine." And he will stand up, turn and look at Arthur and Amir, mainly Arthur, and he will say, "I have wronged this group. I have betrayed everything by grabbing that weapon, put all of you in jeopardy. This I will do on my own." And he'll kind of look at Arthur and he'll say, "Just make sure Lunara knows I didn't do this to be selfish. I did this to save all of you." And Bjorn will find a different door and open it and walk out.
There's only one door. But yeah, you walk out to this town that you can recognize as just a massive human settlement where there seems to be only so many. This is as much publicized as there seems to be a collaborative effort for society to sort of cling on in the state of deterioration that the planet is in. There are several cracks upon it. There has been work of the artificer and beyond to aid that in no longer being as bad of a problem. Less earthquakes, yet tremors are felt all around all the time. The world is going to shatter in a year, maybe less, maybe a little bit more. Who knows? It's a prognosis. This is what scientists believe, what Vane has even mentioned out loud as, well, I guess, with as much subterfuge as he could offer, as he maybe knows more than he's letting on. Yet, Bjorn, as you see this realm that is very not technologically equipped compared to Port, yet still able to hold its own. Individuals with ray guns. There's armors that offer much protection in many facets. There's individuals that have gravity boots, magnetic boots. There's jetpacks. There's hovercrafts. There's some sort of beasts that are ridden around in sort of carts. These beasts look like they have a long snout, sort of a spine of hair going behind their back they give this clap clap every time they touch on the cobblestone. It's just horses for me and you, but Bjorn's never seen a horse. And effectively, just a lot of mysterious things that give a hint of the Fey world, or maybe was introduced to the Fey world, or you've noticed from your own family that maybe they've had a hand in. Much more crude. These are much nicer things, more manufactured, but definitely available. What do you do to take over the world? So to take the world, to run the world, just one of those things. I forget what I say.
Bjorn would find the nearest guard.
They're walking around. They're like all over the place. So you stop a guy with a spear, ray gun thing.
And he would look at him and go, "Where is your king?"
What? There's no kings. That hasn't existed in a long time. Are you looking for like the demon kings, or do you want like the
Who
angel
runs
kings?
your city?
Runs the city? Looking at the city. Yes, it'd be Tusk Manor. So you'd be looking at going to the Tusk Manor,
Which is number
1. If I could locate it, right here.
I
Haha.
was about to say,
Lord Tusk lives in Tusk Manor. Lord Neon Tusk. He is the Watchful Eye, is his title. Watchful Eye of Settlement Neon Tusk, of his namesake.
and Bjorn would look at the guard and say, "Take me to him."
He laughs at you, kind of for like 4 minutes straight. Then he does like that whole like gasping bit for like the last minute, like ha 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 ha. Oh shit, you're serious?
And Bjorn will kind of look at him and go, "Now."
He just says, "Listen, buddy, if you're trying to go to Tusk Manor, you're probably gonna have to set up an appointment. They don't really just let anyone in there. This is
Do you want help saving your village or not?
what? Our village is in danger?
Yes.
From what?
The fuck's her name? Okay.
Ohe's just an entity that is like locked in a weird magical prison that just happens to have 4 pillars connected to it. You would know where the pillars are. This much information will be given to you, and it's just around like different parts of the planet. So like the Death Race one was is that the Mexico one or the Canada one? Doesn't matter. There's one in Mexico. There's one in Canada. There's one in Egypt, and then the Australia one was already fixed, I believe. And then there's one in Asia, but they don't know the exact location. Am I correct in all this, Amir? Or am I talking on my ass again?
What do you mean again? Have you
Because
done this
I'm
before?
always talking on my ass. I'm always just like pulling out shit on my ass. It's just like, yeah, it's over there probably. I don't fucking know.
As I say, this is a pretty normal thing.
I usually write it down.
Again? I'm
Very
sorry.
important things. The locations of all the pillars. Mexico, Canada, one in Asia somewhere, undetermined exactly, and then the Australia one's already done.
I don't know about the Australia one, but yeah.
Australia one was the first one. That one got done already.
Okay.
You guys have 3 to do. The 4 out of the 5.
Are these like check marks every time we complete a pillar?
No, because it's a time loop. You have to do all 3 at the same time in one day for it to function properly. Is a challenge. I mean, he can let you go of the time loop but then you won't get the power you need to save the world.
Oh Lord.
So yeah, that's up to you guys to decide. If that you already spent 81 years here. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but Bjorn, what do you do as your first task? As you know this information, it was told to you. They probably gave you like a pamphlet. So you've been caught in the time loop by a chaos entity, and he wants you to run the world in a day. And then they give you the break.
I think Bjorn would kind of like stop talking to the guard and just kind of shoo him away, like fuck off.
Yeah, you know where Tusk Manor is now, so.
And he would kind of look at the ground and turn around and walk back through the door and look at the guy and go, send me to the next pillar.
Oh, you going back to Vane?
Oh yeah.
Okay, he says, pick your choice. Your friends have located the one in Mexico and have found the way to easily have access to it and shatter it. Good for them. The other two remain. You could either locate the one in Asia. Where it is, who knows? The one in Egypt. Yeah, it'd be Egypt. Fuck. The one in Egypt is the one that is the farthest to reach, as it requires you to deal with the Dragon Coalition.
Send me.
Do I look like a magic man?
You brought me here.
I didn't bring you here.
No. But they are stuck here because of you.
They chose this. I do nothing but give you options. I am here only to provide. What you do with it does not matter to me. Because eventually,
Then
if it isn't
provide me your
you,
way there.
it is your kin who will break the world and cause much delight to my eyes.
Then provide me a means of getting there.
He points to the door again.
And Bjorn will turn and look at Amir and go, you, little one.
I'm the magic man.
Yeah, Amir's too tired.
Feels
He
like
looks like he's a little like conked out right now. Maybe
Bjorn
a
don't give
little
a shit.
squeamish.
He
You're
goes,
doing this one by yourself first, Bjorn.
okay.
Yeah. So what do you do to
You said there's
quote,
one in-
run the world?
There's one in Mexico. There's
That one's
one in
already taken
Asia.
care of. There's one in Asia, and then the one in Egypt, you have the exact location for.
Wait. Earlier you said the one in Australia was already taken care of. So
Yes.
how is the one in Mexico now taken care of?
Mexico's the death race.
You took care
Oh.
of
That's taken care of, effectively. You know how to get through it. Once you've
Okay.
done it in game, we're gonna just walk past doing it over. We're not. Oh, let's do the death race again, guys. Which car do you choose again?
Okay.
I think Bjorn would try to go figure out the one for Asia.
So you want to do research to find the Asia one?
Oh yeah.
How long do you spend?
As long as it takes him.
Roll a d20.
Great. This is gonna
Sometimes
go.
I think that he likes hearing those big answers so he can force you to roll a dice.
It takes you 1,000 hours for you to understand where Asia is.
Okay, so approximately a year.
And you can sort of understand that it's been broken up to about 7 different sections. Some of them
Oh, fuck.
are cloud cities now. This information is not easy to come by. But the lower the number, the better the success on this D20 roll. So that Nat 1 saved your fucking ass right now. I was gonna say, yeah, so you actually die like 18,000 times before you find out that age is all broken up and all crappy and stuff. So instead you just spend 1,000 hours of research, which it could amount to maybe just like let's say like a good 4 weeks of you just trying to do research with like the thought in your head that like, man, I fucked up on my team. I'm never doing this again. I'm gonna be better or something. I don't know. Like maybe you were just watching motivational YouTube videos. Either way.
I think Bjorn is kicking himself in the ass and researching and then, praying to his gods.
Wish gods.
He'd probably be praying to Odin.
Roll a religion check. When do you begin praying to Odin?
I think he would have, like, as soon as he sat down to do research, he would have started, like, in his head.
I'd love to hear it.
Kind of praying with Odin.
Excellent. So Odin doesn't answer, but there is an entity that does answer. They sort of appear upside down to you, floating in the air. They're holding this flute. It's a wooden shaft, is tipped with a golden end, the piece that goes in the mouth. They sort of fan it around a bit, but as they're in a constant state of oscillation, never in a sit-up position, but always spinning away from that, they seem to have very Norse-like apparel on their belt, while very much tribal-like tattoos all over their nearly sickly yellow and blue skin. They're all like 90% blue, and there's spots of them that are like yellow, but the closer you look upon it, it just looks like it's like golden rods are like stuck into their body or something. As this individual with eyes that seem to just be circles within itself, in 2 or 3 patterns, hard to tell with the pupil ending it. They sort of just look your way, and they have this like a bird-like mask situation, like surround is like a crown surrounding their like just like by their ears and the top of their forehead. It's kind of fixed in the air. It's very weird. But as they look at you and they say, "Oh, you're praying to the wrong ones here, man. I run this. What's your name?" Kind of in a weird high
Bjorn
voice.
will not answer, and he will continue to pray to Odin.
He helps you flip pages every once in a while. He points at stuff that you're not looking at to sort of help you. But he really just tries to find out about you. He seems to be just curious about you, and he's just asking questions whether you answer or not. He's just asking all the questions. He's like, "So what's your favorite color, you think?" and then he just goes on and says, "So are you looking for anyone here? Or are you busy? Do you have a like a busy day we could get drinks maybe?"
I think by about 2 hours of dealing with this, Bjorn would finally just be like, "What do you want?"
"I want nothing but everything," he says. But when you do speak to him, he sort of stops oscillating. He turns over to you in that weird shift, never upright, still partly sideways at this point. And he says, "But now that we're in talking terms, maybe I can help you. What are you seeking, buddy?"
"I seek the pillar that is in Asia."
Pillar. There's many pillars in Asia.
All right, Pennywise, calm down.
Right? That's what I thought.
Yeah, does Amir show up eventually? Like you're probably so bored of like trying to do stuff. You're probably just like walking about, and you spot this weird visage of Bjorn next to 1,000 different books and this weird floating guy that everyone sees and sort of ignores.
I mean, yeah, I'll show up. I am a magic man after all.
And I think at this point, Bjorn is just rubbing his temples. And then finally looks at the floating thing and goes, "The pillars that hold Ohe."
So his eyes widen. He stops floating. He lands on the table. He knocks over a bunch of books, and he looks at you. He's not upright still. Like he's still angled. Like he's at a I want to say a 45-degree angle. You don't know how he's standing. Like his feet are not planted on anything, but he just like knocked down a bunch of stuff. He's just looking at you in a weird angle. And he says, "Do not say that name unless you mean to speak it with fervor and fire. Do you wish to destroy this world? The moment she awakens, we are gone. Oh my gosh, I'm dealing with amateurs. This whole world is dead. I can't do anything here." And he just starts like banging on the table, just like upset. He's having a tantrum.
Is he physical?
Seems to be.
Or can I see through him?
You can't see through him, but he is obviously touching and shattering and moving a bunch of stuff. He's just in a weird angle. Like he's not as you'd think. Like if you imagine a kid there, and then you took like the editing tool to just shift them over, and they started doing that like in a weird movie, and it would look disjointed. It's that.
Bjorn at this point will stand up, remove his bear pelt, showing all of his ancient Norse tattoos and runes.
Yes.
And he'll lay it on the chair and he goes, "My name is Bjorn. I have to either run the world in a day or destroy the pillars that hold Ohe. So you, little creature, can either help or go away."
Okay. Amir, do you do anything here?
I'm watching, wishing I had a bag of popcorn.
And you do. There's like vendors here with popcorn.
Oh, well, I'm gonna have a bag of popcorn and I'm gonna stand here and watch eating.
You can see the society does not require you to pay, but instead you can give an offering for services.
I'll leave a gold coin regardless.
He looks at you and he's like, "I don't know what the fuck that is," or whatever. He rolls his eyes, kind of situation. "I'll take that gold coin, thank you very much." You just gave that guy a whole shit ton of money he don't even know. Not that he could do much with it, but yeah. In this communistic society that has sort of developed because there's only 4 countries left. But yeah. How far are you away from Bjorn and Buddy?
I would say that I'm about 6 feet. Social distancing.
6 feet, you're right there. That's not social distance. I like that social distance is just one more than the requirement to be at long range, at not melee range in D&D standards. That makes oh yeah. Whatever. Let's not think about that one. As all that happens, Bjorn takes off his pelt, and the offer is made. The entity looks at the two of you now, and he says, "You wanna run this world in a day? You wanna take my home, send it away? You wanna break the chains?" And he just slams on the table. Nothing happens but him disappearing.
Could you come back, please?
What?
I almost called myself Amir. No. Amir, when he disappears, says, "Can you come back, please?"
Okay, you say that to the void. A couple seconds pass.
Yeah.
A minute. 2 minutes.
I guess they're gone.
Bjorn will kind of rub his temples, noticing that Amir's there now, and he goes,
Popcorn? He says, holding up the bag of popcorn.
and Bjorn will sit down, looking at the books, and go, "What am I doing?" And he'll out in the middle of the void.
That's about when you actually notice that the scattering of the books have this weird picturesque burn off. Like a bunch of the pages have been ripped or destroyed in such a way where it just is an image of a... It seems to all work together as they're laid out on the table for you to actively understand what you learn after 1,000 hours. And you have that bit of a brain blast moment, and you're like, so the pillars aren't in one place, they're actually disconnected because the whole continent is disconnected and it was connected to the continent. Fuck. So that's going to be a problem that you're going to have to deal with.
And Bjorn will stand up like a eureka moment and be like, "Yes!" and slam his fists, and hopefully I break the table.
Well, first, let's roll a D100, both of you, for weather. That's just unrelated. Second, Bjorn, roll a D20 to see what type of table it is, and then make your athletics check. Sunny days. Sunny days it is. I was hoping it was raining.
Athletics? Right.
Athletics is just a table that you scatter into wood piles all over the fucking place. There's a couple gasps heard, but then everybody sort of moves on. Like even the attendants at the area that you're at are sort of just looking your way and saying nothing.
He'll turn around and look at the attendant and go, "Sorry."
Yeah, they're still not saying anything. They're too intimidated.
I'm not to fix that.
And Bjorn, being ecstatic that, his minute amount of intelligence was able to figure this out, he's going to grab Amir, like pick up his cloak, throw it over one shoulder, or his pelt, and throw it over one shoulder, and wrap his big ass arm around like Amir's head, and be like, "So, this is what I found out, and this is what it does, and this is why we haven't been able to find it, because it's everywhere." And he'll be just walking Amir down the street, talking to him.
So yeah, good on you. You spend a couple days doing that, Bjorn. But what do you guys do from here on? You guys have the entire planet accessible to yourselves. You have vehicles and what have you to arrive to locations that you wish to be. If you wanted to, you could spend even more time to learn more stuff. Though Amir's a little sick and tired of messing around with stupid shit now.
Bjorn's brain hurts at this point.
I'm sorry?
At this point, after absorbing ridiculous amount of knowledge for Bjorn. He's sitting there going, "Oh, my head,"
Okay.
and is like, immediately like, "Got this. I need a drink."
Need a drink. Drinks are definitely available, and they are just regular drinks. They get you intoxicated, so you have to make a check to keep from
No, he doesn't
being
want to get
drunk.
intoxicated. He only wants.
Oh, these Earth people. Their alcohol doesn't even give you a choice anymore. It's so
Bjorn.
goddamn, Amir. Are you drinking too?
Yeah.
Roll
Remember
initiative.
Bjorn? Bjorn's pro.
You said roll initiative?
Yep.
21.
Bjorn, you can roll initiative too.
I have to roll initiative.
Amir got drunk.
Oh fuck!
Oh, am I gonna start a drunken freaking fight?
Maybe not you, but someone's gonna. I'm just looking for a nice bar setting. Hold on.
Amir,
Where
I
do you guys-
apologize.
Where do you guys think you guys went drinking?